Strategist
Welcome
and
to the
best-selling
broadcast.
author Mia Redrick regularly meets with mothers to help them prioritize their busy lives.
So, one of the things that I found is that as a mom, we're no longer multitasking, we're megatasking. Yeah. Okay? And isn't that true? Whatever we do for ourselves is what we are giving to our family.
Welcome to the broadcast. I see some friends there. We're going to get started in about 3 minutes.
Always ready to work out. So I always bring with me my
Invite your friends.
as well as my resistance bands. Easy way to get your workout in any day, anytime.
I love the toolkit, Mia. How about dads? Can dads have one too?
Absolutely. Dads create the best toolkits. The deal is just be prepared for wherever you're going to be that day with your family to maximize the day. If you have ever said there are not enough hours in a day, you're going to love my next strategy called blending. Blending is when you are doing something for your children, looking for opportunities to do something
Invite
for
your friends, guys.
yourself. You guys, tell me, how are you already blending in your life? How are you taking care of yourself while you're taking care of your children?
I have the best girlfriend who's a trainer who created a way in which we literally work out in her garage while all our kids play outside.
Thank you.
So we're getting me time, we're getting mommy time, and our kids are just having a good time.
We've had over 283 self-care groups, and I think the power of the groups has been that moms have no judgment, just camaraderie. You have an opportunity to connect with other women in your demographics of motherhood. And I firmly believe that moms aren't necessarily looking to balance their work and their life. I think what we want more of is joy. Creating opportunities to experience joy on a daily basis in your life is the goal. The next time you and your family need a getaway, try a staycation. What I mean by that is,
Thank you for
explore
inviting
in
a
your
friend. I
hometown,
appreciate it.
play a tourist. This might be exactly what your family needs to refuel and reconnect, even in the middle of your busy lives. Remember, when mama's happy, everyone else is happy.
Now, when most people think of dating, they think of being single, going out on the town, but when you're married with kids, that's when the real dating fun should begin.
It sure is. Well, our mom strategist explains why and shares her rules of family dating.
This is something you've probably not thought about, but it's worked really great for me.
Thank you for
And it
inviting
is
your
dating
followers.
your
I appreciate
family.
it.
And, because
I
you have
love
6
some hearts,
children, one of
guys.
the things that works terrific is to be able to date at home. And what I get a lot of my clients to do is to create a dating box.
Thank you.
And in that box, you and your husband can put things that you want to enjoy together. Because sometimes we have opportunities to date our partners, but we don't have a whole lot of time. It might be you have 90 minutes, but by the time he has to go and get the movie or get a meal, the time that you want to spend
in
together
30
is
seconds.
gone.
Thank you, Mia. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Wow, wow. Well, welcome the author of Time for Mommy, 365 Daily Strategies for Mother's Self-Care, Mia Redrick. Mia, thank you so much. Stand up, please. Pleasure, pleasure. I really feel for this family. You did help them with some tips.
Thank you
but
for the
what
hearts,
else
guys.
are
I
you doing
appreciate it.
Well, Dear Time is such a simple way to build quality in your family time and to make self-care a reality every single day. It's simple.
So drop everything and read.
Drop everything and read. It will allow the kids to see mom and dad having some downtime, and it becomes part of the family culture, self-care.
So what about the fact that she has no time to herself? She sits in her car and listens to the radio and live
Welcome
stream
to the
constantly about where
broadcast.
she
We're going to get
is,
started in a minute.
just so she can have a moment to breathe.
So what we talked about was them giving one another permission without guilt and supporting that time and understanding you need that when you have 2 young children. They're a couple that wants to be together. They don't want to be apart. And so you could see that when they started to date, just to dance together, they reconnected immediately.
I saw you covering your ears when that was happening. Why?
It's emotional.
Yes, it is. Because I love my husband and we all forget why we got married.
We flip the screen. I think I got it. Okay. Alright, let me cut this off. Hey guys, it's Mia Redrick here, the Mom Strategist, and hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I've had a great day. I went to a brunch earlier with my husband and my son, and we've just been kind of hanging out around the house today and having a good old time. Hopefully you guys are too, getting the kids ready for tomorrow. So I am Mia Redrick, the Mom Strategist, and I support moms with life and business success. Now, do me a favor. I would love it if you would share this broadcast with your friends. Hey, Charlotte's in the house. If you would share this broadcast with your friends, invite your followers to come on Twitter, on Facebook. It's going to be a big call. Now, I'm going to put my glasses on so that I can see what you guys are writing. Hey, Charlotte Avery. Hey, darling. She is a fabulous mom of 7. One of my core mom coaching clients, and you guys got to check her out. Charlotte, make sure you put your details on how people can connect with you here. She's a mom of 7, and she's gorgeous. I'm trying to fix my hair, right? And she's gorgeous, and she was just recently featured in, she just took a family photo, and 5 of her kids were featured in the Because of You I Can ad. I believe I got that right. And the picture went viral, about 12,000 views and about 3,000 shares just this week. So she is fabulous. She's got a gorgeous family. And you guys need to follow her on beingcharlotteavery.com. I'm Mia Redrick, the Mom Strategist, and I support moms with life and business success. All of my scopes are all about how you as a mom can be the kind of mom that you need to be, and yet still run the kind of business that you choose to, right? Because I think that your life informs your business. And so most of my scopes relate to that very thing. And I thought today would be a really great topic would be is for me to talk about how to make the most out of your coaching program. Because, truthfully, people make investments in coaching all the time. Thank you, Charlotte. beingcharlotteavery.com. Check her out, beingcharlotteavery.com. She's awesome. Most of us, at some point or another, we make an investment in some kind of mentorship, some kind of coaching program, some kind of consulting program. But sometimes what I hear as a coach, and I've coached over 400 clients, 112 of my clients have written books, over half of them are #1 Amazon bestsellers. And I've heard almost any story you can imagine, right, from people who have been in coaching programs. And a lot of times there are excuses about, they've been in a program, maybe they haven't gotten full value, and they can't figure out why. So I thought today would be a great time for me to talk about, how do you make the most out of your investment? Because there's no way you're going to get to where you want to be, right? And from where you are right now without investing in teachers. So let's be real about that, right? So we know this. So in order for you to go to that next level, you've got to invest in yourself, and you've got to invest with teachers. But how do you make sure that when you spend your money that you get what you need from the programs? And a lot of times we never think about those things. And I thought, there are a couple topics that I'm going to cover tonight that I think will support you even if you're in a program currently, right? You're in one of my programs currently, or if you're investing in other programs, these will support you as well. One of the first topics, I'm just going to jump right in, which is what I like to do, is you need to set a goal with your investment. So a lot of times when people sign up for coaching programs, they're looking for that program to be it. Like you want that program to do it for you. But the fact of the matter is, what I like to do is actually set a goal. When I make an investment in a coaching program, if it's a branding program or a sales program or a marketing program or, life coaching program, I set a goal for that investment. Okay? Okay, guys, I got to block this person, right? I don't know how. Okay, all right. So in any event, right, so one of the things you've got to do is set a goal for that program, all right? You guys got to tell me again how to block somebody. And when you, okay, thank you. Okay, you got to set a goal for that program. And what that does is you understand from the very beginning why you're doing the program. You got to know when you're doing this program, why did you decide you're going to thank you. And why did you decide that you were going to do the program to begin with? You've decided for a reason, and that reason, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys. Have great people, right? You decided for a reason, and you need to know what that reason is up front. And I always write down for myself, why did I choose this program? Why did I choose to work with this teacher? And this is important, and I want to talk about this for a second, because a lot of times people choose teachers because those teachers or maybe they like their personality, or maybe you see them on the stage or speaking and they're impressing you, and because of it they make an offer and you feel compelled in that moment with everyone else, not your own reasons, and you make a decision that I need to work with this person right now. But the question is why? Why do you need to work with that person? What is it that you want to get out of the program that they're offering? Not so much the person, their personality, right? It's the program. What return are you looking for when you are saying, yes, this is a program that I want to do? One of the things that, I offer a program called Core Moms Coaching, and it is a program for moms who are looking for life and business systems. So it's my hope that if someone says, hey, I want to do this program, it's because they are looking for a coaching program that will also acknowledge their life as a mom, address some of the issues that get us stuck and in the way as a mom, right? Right. Thank you, Charlotte. She says it's a good program. She's one of my Core Mom Coaching clients. And so it's important to know why you're in the program to begin with, and why did you sign up? Why did you say yes to begin with? I meet people all the time. They sign up for all kinds of things, and they don't know why. They don't know what they expected to get out of the program. And that's literally one of the very first things that I do is say, why do I need this program? How can this program support me and my goals right now or over the next year? Does that make sense? And if you're not asking yourself that question, then you need to be asking yourself that question, because this is a serious investment. The second thing that you need to do if you want to make sure you get the most out of any of your coaching programs, right? The first that you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this program? How is it going to serve me? What do I want the return to be? What are you thinking this program is going to do for you, right? Okay, and being clear about that. All right, the other thing you wanted to do is make sure you utilize the accountability systems that are already in place within the program. So I hear this all the time. People are in coaching programs. I offer an accountability partnership. I also offer an online community where people can talk to one another and support one another and encourage one another. And then you find sometimes that, people will sign up for coaching programs and they don't hang out in those places. They don't show up for their accountability calls. They don't show up in the community. They still are that lone wolf. If you want to get the most out of your coaching programs, you have got to show up for the things that make you accountable. Those systems that are created for you so that you don't feel like you're alone. Does that make sense? All right. And a lot of times people don't. It's so simple. You have to work it. That's right. You have to work it. And what happens is you begin, sometimes in any business, there are cycles in any business, any coaching program where you'll get in your gun ho, right? And you hit a wall. Something doesn't work the way you want it to work. And as a result of that, you know what? You might get discouraged. So if you align with the accountability systems that are already in place, you have a place, you have people that can kind of pull you up, right? That can pump you up when you don't feel like it, because maybe your proposals didn't go as planned. Maybe you didn't get, the sales that you thought you were going to get. That's why it's so important to make sure you show up in your forums, you show up in your online communities, that you connect with your accountability community so that you're not hiding anymore. That's the point, right? And whenever I see someone within my community who is really struggling, right, in a coaching program with their investment, it is almost always they have stopped coming around. They have stopped doing the things that are in place to help them and to support them. The third thing I'm going to suggest that you do, and I need to write this down here, is you need to do your homework, right? You got to do your homework. So, most of these coaching programs, let me write this down, do your homework. I just want to make sure I can remember it. You need to do your homework, because almost all coaching programs, there's usually some lesson that you're given, right? Some training, some teaching for you. And then you've got to go implement the thing that you've learned. And if you hear it and you don't apply it, then you never can ask questions that are relevant for your growth. Does this make sense? Any hearts here? Because let me just tell you, this is the truth. The fact of the matter is, hearing it is not enough. You've got to hear what your teacher's teaching you, and then you've got to actually take action and do the work. And when you do the work, okay, then what you're paying for begins to make more sense to you. Does this make sense? All right. And it sounds so elementary, and yet people do get hemmed up on this. Thank you so much. People get hemmed up on this because they don't do the work. And why don't they do the work? Because no judgment around this. You got to realize when you start a coaching program, you're overcoming your behaviors and your habits that have had you stuck in the past. So those don't change overnight because you sign up for a program. That's why you got to come around and be a part of the accountability community. That's why it's important to implement the homework. And if you don't do that, then nothing changes in your business. Just because you're writing a check or you've written a check, right, doesn't change. What changes are your actions. You got to do the homework so that you can see what's working and what's not working. And whatever isn't working for you in your business in terms of your questions, you can then get those questions answered. Okay? And I will tell you that when people don't do that, when they don't do the homework, when they don't show up on the calls, they don't listen to the back calls, they are the very first people to tell you that the program doesn't work, the program isn't right for them, that they try to make the teacher, the trainer wrong. When in reality, if you were doing the work along the way, you would be a partner with your coach, teacher, and trainer. You'd be able to say, hey, Nicole, you would be able to say, I have some questions. Can you answer these questions for me? All right. In opposed to not doing anything for 2 months and then saying, hey, this program doesn't work for me because of whatever. And, it's always interesting to me because whenever I go back to clients who say stuff like that and say, well, let me see your homework. They haven't done it. Okay. You got to do the work. You got to do the work to get the results, right? Just because you pay the money, you invest in the program, it doesn't work like that, okay? It doesn't work like that, all right? So very important. You also have to, number 4, you've got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive yourself. You got to understand that sometimes you're not going to do the work. Hey, Nicole. Nicole is my sister, guys. We're sisters from another mother and father, actually. And she's on a lot of my scopes. I love her. She's great. You guys got to check her out. So you've got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive yourself. You got to understand that when you're in a coaching program, you're still growing into the person that, you're changing. And it doesn't mean that if you don't see results right away, it doesn't mean that it's not working, because change can happen in a lot of different ways. Like, maybe you need to hear it over and over again before you can actually implement the things that will really change in your business. So sometimes you're learning whatever it is, and then over time you'll be able to see the results in your business. And I see so many business owners quit on themselves. You are too. Yeah, you're awesome. You're welcome. I see so many business owners quit on themselves because they haven't done the work. They think this business is never going to work, or this program is never going to work for me, when in reality you need to just forgive yourself. Sit down, spend a weekend, catch up on your assignments, do whatever you need to do the work, and meet with your accountability partners. Give yourself the support you need to be able to move forward. Does that make sense? Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. For those of you who have just joined me, I'm Mia Redrick, the Mom Strategist, and I support mostly moms with life and business success. All right. And my goal is to help more moms understand that, you know what? We can't ignore the fact that you're a mom and you want to be in business. You need mom-friendly systems in order to grow your business. And today I thought, what a great topic to talk about, which is how to make the most of your investments. Most of you guys have already invested. Oh my goodness. Most of these people have. How do I do this? Guys, show me how to do it. What do I do? How do I block a viewer? Okay. You guys going to have to do that because I don't know how to do it. I forgot. Tap those hearts, moms. Nicole, tell me again how to block a viewer. I forgot. Somebody told me earlier today, but I forgot how to do it. So in any event, hit the name, then block. Like hit the screen and then block the person. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Click on their name the next time they come up and press their name and press block. Okay. All right. Got it. All right. So perfect. So most of you guys have invested in coaching programs, right? At some point, or will. And what I want to make sure is that you maximize the investment. And you have to go into any program or mentorship program. The first thing you want to do is set a goal with that investment. What is the return you're looking for? Is it something you want to learn? Is it maybe to be more disciplined? Is it maybe to create a product, write a book, create a course, whatever it is? So you need to be clear about why did I say yes to this program, okay? The other thing you need to do is you need to utilize the accountability systems that are already in place. Show up for your coaching calls. All right, guys, I'm trying. I did it. I blocked. I did it. I did it. Okay, I got it. All right. So you need to utilize the accountability systems that are in place already for the coaching program, right? You got to utilize the accountability systems. Show up on your calls. I know. Whoop, whoop, right. Whoop, whoop. Now I feel powerful. All right. Other than members, who are the assigned accountability partners? So accountability partners in my community are members within my Core Moms coaching program or my Moms Academy program. I assign you based on your ambition level and above people for you to be accountable with each week to your dreams and your goals. Because most of us, if we don't have people that we get to talk to regularly, we can hide from ourselves. We can do like a little bit, and then we're like, I'm doing my business. But are you doing all that you need to do? And I like accountability because it makes you do the stuff that you need to do and you can do, but you might not do on your own. So hopefully that answered your question. Okay. So you need to utilize accountability systems. Make sure you show up on your calls. Thank you guys so much for the hearts. Make sure you show up on your calls. Make sure you show up with your accountability partners. Make sure you're doing your homework. That was number 3, right? So how can you get results in a program if you are not doing the work? You got to apply what you're learning, and so that you can make sure it's working for you, and more importantly, get your questions answered. And I see this all the time. People have been in like coaching programs. You've got some people who are coaching addicts. Like they just go from one program to the next program. And sometimes people get in these programs because they want to be in the know, right? Like they want to be in the program with the person that they think is fabulous or famous or cool or star or something like that. Look, you need to give all that up. You need to choose a program based on the results that you want, okay? Leave all of that out. Okay, you need to choose a program for a reason because there's a return that you want, and you need to overcome that. And sometimes we want to be filled with things to make us feel like we're important. You are already important. You don't need to be in alignment with anyone to be right. You need results, right? You don't need someone's name to make you. You need a program that has what you need so you can move on and change and grow and create the results you want. Does that make sense? All right. And that's really important because I think a lot of times I always say people invest in their fears. They invest in their fears. I'm always at, different events. How do I stop craving so much carbs? Okay. I don't know how you stop craving carbs. I'm not sure about that. But I think that what you need to do is get a life. You need to get a life. Like, imagine this on a Sunday night. This is fun for you. Can you imagine? I'm working and I am creating content for my business. And you need to find something that you can do for your business too. Okay? And if that's fun to you, my goodness, I can't imagine what your free time is. Okay. So, you need to make sure that when you're choosing a program, you're not choosing a personality. You're choosing a program based on that program having exactly what you need. And you're clear about the intentions, right? Start a carb-free business. Now, that's that. How about that? Right? But hey, you know what? You're a product of what you think. And that's just the reality of it. All right. You need to make sure you forgive yourself because you're going to dip in any program that you're in. The block game is strong, right? I just figured out how to do it. So this is kind of cool for me. My 30th day on Periscope. I'm figuring this out, guys. But you need to also forgive yourself because when you're in a program, life is going to happen. There are going to be times that you are going to take those dips. And you need to understand that. And it doesn't make the program bad. It just means that for you, it is huge. You got to just jump back in. Just jump back in and just go back and learn whatever it is you haven't been doing. I need to figure out how to block people. You just push your screen, Charlotte, and then the name of the person, and then block comes up and you hit block. So I just did it a couple of times and I got it now, I think. So, So that's what you need to do. You need to forgive yourself. You need to know that everybody has a cycle of learning. You also need to know sometimes people get stuck in programs because they'll look at other people who are having results and they're not doing anything at the time. So they'll feel like, I can't do it, or it's not working for me. They're just taking more actions than you. And allow what other people are doing to inspire you, and understand that you're not competing with anyone. You're competing with yourself, right? You're trying to change who you are. And I would say, look, if this year you have a goal to make 6 figures, like you've got a business making $0 and you want to make 6 figures in your business, what you got to understand is that change is what is the game. If you're going to do it, you can't be the same person you are right now. You got to change your habits. You got to change what you're reading. You got to change who you're hanging around. You got to change what you're saying. You got to change you. And that is part of why we invest in programs, so that we can change who we are, how we think, how we show up in the world. Right. Paradigm shift. Absolutely. Change. Absolutely. And you got to embrace that change. And sometimes we want to hold on to the way things were, right? And then we want a different result, but it doesn't work like that. Success does not work like that. You have to change who you are, how you think, who you hang out with, and that will change the results that you create. There was one more thing, that you have to play full out. Now, when you're in any coaching program, the people who get the most results are people who play full out. Now, I'm like hardcore, right? Like, I got like a black belt in playing full out. And I've learned that life is a lot more fun when you get into whatever you're doing and you just get all in. You learn what you need to learn, and you start taking action. Things start to make more meaning for you. I mean, you start to, create more opportunities for yourself. So life becomes more exciting. Your business becomes more exciting. You start meeting more people. So whatever you're doing right now, you can't build a business. Even though I build my business from the comfort of my home, that doesn't mean that I'm alone. It doesn't mean that I'm not engaging and connecting with other people. It doesn't mean that I don't have mastermind partners that I talk to weekly. It doesn't mean that I don't have goals and accountability coaches that hold me accountable to my life. It doesn't mean that I don't go outside of my office to meet new people that I could collaborate with. It doesn't mean that I don't pitch to brands, right? So you got to play full out. Like, when you are in a coaching program and your teacher is there to answer your questions, you want to give them some questions to answer. And I see that sometimes, like, I'm just waiting. Like, I just want the question. I just want the student to come. Like, I want them to bring it to me. And you find that sometimes when people aren't implementing, they have nothing to ask you. You say, hey, in my programs, you can email me once a week. I don't get a weekly email. Some people don't send a weekly email. They just don't send it. Right? I'm waiting for that email. I'd love to answer that question. And your coach wants to do the same. And it's about you playing full out and understanding, look, if you pay for a coaching program and you can send a weekly email, are you? If you get accountability partners, are you showing up for your accountability calls? If you get, homework, are you doing your homework? Because if you're not doing what it takes to create the success, okay, I'm coming with the questions. Okay, come on with them. If you're not doing the work, then you don't get to complain that it's not working for you or that the business is failing you. You are failing you, okay? And you have to understand that you got to change that. You got to play full out. When I'm writing a check, and I'm going to tell you, this is me, that when I'm doing a coaching program, I pay in full. One of the reasons that I pay in full for my coaching programs, because writing that check makes me say, I'm going to show up. I'm not trying to do this little sprinkle thing, because I know that I commit differently when I put my money is involved. And you commit differently that way too. If I've already paid you, I'm all in. What did you say? I have got a follow-up question. I'm showing up. I'm sitting on the first row. I am going to send the email. I'm coming on the call because I paid for it. And I meet people all the time that they say, hey, look, my dream is important, but they want to put $2 in for the thing that's $100. Come on. No. You got to be all into your dream. You got to play full out. And one of the things that I like to do that commits me is to pay in full. Now, I know there's some people out there saying to me right now, okay, yeah, okay. But what about when you were first starting out, Mia? I told you guys, when I was first starting out, my coach said that she was charging $1,000 for an hour. $1,000. And I didn't have $1,000 an hour, but I had $100. And you know what? She made me sign an 18-month contract. 18 months. For 10 minutes a month. And you know who signed it? Me. I did. I committed in advance. I didn't say, oh, let me see how this is going to go for 2 months and see if I like it. See if I get a result. See if I can work with you for 2 months and you can help me make $50,000. No, that's unrealistic. And we are sometimes so unrealistic about the expectations, and we don't want to make the investment. We want all the prize, but we don't want to do the work. We don't want to do what it takes to earn the prize, if that makes sense. And investment is a big part of that. So I'm thinking you guys have some questions for me today. I just wanted to say to you guys, because I talk a great deal about coaching and how do you get the most out of your coaching investment? There are several things that I mentioned today. I'm just going to run through them again. One is you need to set a goal for the investment. So when you sign up for a coaching program, what's the goal? What's the return? What are you looking for? Are you looking to have created a book? Are you looking to have built a brand? Are you looking to have better systems? What is it that you're looking for and why are you saying yes to that program, right? Say yes to the program. Forget the personality, okay? You're not buying somebody's personality, okay? You're buying the program, all right? And don't get that twisted because you want results. You need to utilize their accountability system. Show up and show out. We go 10 years playing small, and then we want to be a millionaire in 6 months. You got that right. And people don't want to do the work. When I look back on my business, I've been doing my business for 13 years, guys. 13 years. The first 3 years, I was trying to figure it out. And I always say, if 10 years from now, you could be doing exactly what you want to do, would you still be in business? Or would you say, oh, I'm going to give it 6 months? Come on. Give me a break. All right. I've made a lot of investments in teachers over the years. Thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in teachers, coaches, branding coaches, marketing coaches, sales coaches, you name it, life coaches, business coaches, speaking coaches. All right. And for each of those, I've always had a return that I wanted from that experience. I played full out. I was accountable. I showed up. I didn't expect to learn to speak and not show up at the speaking classes. You kidding? I didn't expect to learn to speak and not do the homework. No way. All right. It doesn't work like that. I did the homework. You got to do the homework. I paid in full. Okay. As my life allowed me to, I did. And when I wasn't able to pay in full, I signed the contracts. No one was looking for me to invest, to say, hey, Mia, this is really good for you, and chasing me around. Life doesn't work like that. Your teachers will know who the serious students are. If you want someone to teach you what they know, you need to be willing to pay for that. And that's just how it goes. Now, you might be able to find a mentor out here who will mentor you, and I have mentees, complimentary, but I choose them. I choose them, okay? You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get someone that's going to mentor you in your business, be committed to leaving their family to help you build your business, and you not want to compensate them for that. I just don't see that. It needs to be win-win. Okay, I hope you guys hear me on this. And I am firm about that. And you need to make sure the people you invest in you're not signing up with them because you saw them on a stage with a big jumbotron and you were like, whoa, you are so amazing. You have to be my teacher. Why do you need that program? Ask yourself, what's the return you're looking for from that program? How is that going to support you? Okay. And if that program that they're offering doesn't support you, then, it's not the right program for you. Now, they're awesome, but you need to be really clear about that for yourself. You need to be clear about that. Now, the other thing, if you listen to any of my other scopes, what I say is that you need to make sure that there is chemistry between you, way to build consulting tools. One of the things, I don't know what that means. One of the things that I always say is that you need to make sure that, if great sound advice, thank you. If you are choosing a coach and that coach does not know your name, does not care to know your name when you meet them, okay, and somewhere in the middle, that's how you start, is how you're going to finish. So don't expect someone who does not see you as a coach, okay, to see you when you're in their program, okay? I'm just telling you. Now, if some people are into that, that's not me. I actually know that when I'm working with a coach, what is the best way to build consulting tools for your business? I don't necessarily know what you mean. What is the best way to build consulting tools for your business? You mean coaching tools for your business? I don't really know what you mean. So just restate it and I'll answer it for you, okay? So you just need to know that if you need a coach that sees you, you need to choose a program where that coach can see you, Okay. Is that coach going to check your emails? Okay. Is that coach ever going to say hello to you? Will they? Or not. And maybe you don't need that. Like, there are lots of self-study programs I've invested in. I understand their self-study, and I don't expect my coach to call me at all because I've invested in self-study. And let me be clear about that too, because people invest in self-study programs. Okay, Nicole. People invest in self-study programs, and when they do, they expect you then to treat them like they are a client in a program where you're supposed to talk to them one-to-one. And they didn't pay for that. You got to be clear about your investment. If you need a program where you need to talk to your coach, you need to invest in that program. If you choose a program where that's a self-study course, you need to be a person that's self-directed. Okay, when you say yes to that program. You know, I get people all the time to say to me, they choose a coaching program that was self-study, and they'll say, you know, I got lost. I wasn't implementing because they didn't know what they needed. So you need to think about what you need when you choose these programs for yourself and not get caught up in the hype of the video. I'm having such a hard time choosing a coach, right? So one of the things you want to be looking for is the kind of, what kind of results are you looking for? Do you need a business coach? Do you need a life coach, right? What kind of systems do you need that coach to have in place? What kind of results are you wanting to get at the end of using that program? So like if you're wanting a program that talks about marketing and branding or, maybe pitching, you need to make sure that whatever that coach's curriculum is for that year, it covers that. And those are known things. You know what you need in your business. And don't be intimidated by the power of your own success. Absolutely. And I think that, to me, I like working with my clients and being able to see what they're doing, because then I can, refer a resource to them. Then I can make some recommendations to them. I can pair them with the right people, trailblazer, someone who has